are going to need to do the Dreamcatcher are a plastic and rigid bracelet, thick thread and thin thread, a needle, a spin cloth, scissors, and 2 feathers. The first thing we're going to do is wrap the thick thread around the plastic bracelet. Make loops around it, and once you have a few of them done, put them all together and tight like this, and put the spin cloth here so they don't loose. And you can now continue making loops around the whole bracelet, taking the whole bunch and putting it in and out of it. Remember that you have to put them tight so you can't see the bracelet, just like this. Once you've finished making loops around the bracelet, you'll get this result. To finish, you have to make a double knot on top of the bracelet. The second step is, with the thin thread, you have to sew the inside of the Dreamcatcher. First, make a double knot in the same place as where you've made the other one, like this. Put it tight and on top of the other one. Now we have to sew the inside of the Dreamcatcher. So take the whole bunch of thread and make loops as you made after. Be careful with the end. The beginning is difficult because you have these threads here that make it harder. So once you have the first loop, you have to do more, but with the same distance in between them. Like this. You see that we have one here, another one here. The same distance has to be here in between the loops. Okay, so once we've finished the first loop around the bracelet, we're going to have to sew it like this. With the whole bunch inside of the bracelet, we are going to put the needle inside of the loop we made before, and we have to pass all of the thread inside like this. Repeat the process again in the other thread, like this. and again. Here inside. We're gonna have to repeat this process all the time from inside the loops we have made. It's gonna be harder and harder each time because the loops are going to start being smaller. And again, so we have finished our second loop. Well, nearly finished. Replace the thread if it has moved. And continue doing this. If something like this happens to your thread, don't worry, because in the worst case, if a knot is done, you can cut it and continue doing it by knotting another thread of the same color into this thread. Now that we have finished sweeping the inside of the Dreamcatcher, we are going to make a knot so the whole thing doesn't fall apart. For this, we have to come back to the loop we have just made and put the needle, pass it behind it like this, and then again use your other hand to help yourself. Pass it inside of this hole that is made. And carefully, here is where you have to make the knot. For this you should use both hands so it's tight. Now we've finished with the inside of our Dreamcatcher. We're going to make another knot just in case. Remember, you just have to pass the needle behind the loop and then inside of the hole and make the knot carefully. Open the inside of our Dreamcatcher and cut the rest of the thread with the scissors. Remember that you have to cut it close to the knot we have just made. Perfect. So once we have the inside of our Dreamcatcher done, let's move on to the decorations part. Now we're going to do 3 threads that are going to hang from our Dreamcatcher. I have framed some beads inside this piece of thread, and I'm going to separate them with a knot. A simple knot. As you can see, I have put 3 under and 3 on top. Make another knot in the end so the beads don't fall. This time we're going to make a double one. Move them till you reach the knot, and again cut the rest. Don't cut it very close to it so it doesn't remove. Now measure it as the height you want it to be. I think this would be fine, and cut it. We have one of our threads done. Then, using the 2 feathers for the decoration, we're going to make 2 more pieces of thread. Let's measure them at the same size of the other piece. Okay. And insert the thread inside of this little hole, and again make a knot. Let's make a double one so we make sure it won't fall. Perfect. You have to repeat this again with the other feather. Put it inside and make 2 knots. Cut the ends. Remove the beads left aside so they don't annoy you. And now we have the 3 decorating pieces of thread. Now we're going to put this one here in the middle of the Dreamcatcher, and we'll have to tie it to the bracelet like this. We'll use a knot again. You can put it beside one of these sewing parts we did, so it's not too visible. Make a tight knot and cut this end. So we have the middle one, and then we have to do the same with the other two. Let's put it next to this one, so this is symmetric now. Cut the end. Now that we have finished the decoration part, we have to do the last retouches. We have to cut the rest of the thread that was left when we sewed the inside. And we have to cut it very close to the knot. Now with these ends, we are going to do the hanger. For that, we are going to make the knot on top of here. We're going to make a double knot. And we have to make it very tight, because this is going to support all the weight of the Dreamcatcher. Now cut the rest, what is left. And this would be it. Here we have our Dreamcatcher finished.